viewers out there, a wonderful Tuesday afternoon. We are once again on your favorite sports program, Sports Orbit, reaching you from Leadership TV. My name is Afa Acho. Salifu Usman is right here in the studio with me. Salifu, welcome to this edition of the program.
Thank you, Afa. It's always my pleasure.
On today's edition of the program, like we always do, we always start from the home front, and this time we are starting from the NFF, where President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusau, has once more assured that Nigerian football will regain its lost glory under the present NFF. Gusau made the remark in Lagos during a visit to the chairman and chief executive of GAC Motors, one of the partners of the NFF. He said the present NFF administration will continue to fashion and implement policies that are targeted at re-engineering the Nigerian game in order to pull it back to the top. Further on, he said our national teams have been up there before, and we will be back at the very top sooner than later. So, it's good that the new NFF president is, this visit is more like two things. One, acknowledging that, yes, our football has dwindled. The other part of it is saying that under his own leadership, he will ensure that Nigerian football regain its lost glory. So at least he has admitted that some sort of glory we used to have, and whether we like it or not, every Nigerian would agree that some glory has been lost when it comes to Nigerian football not being able to qualify for the World Cup. Even the ongoing CHAN, which we would have qualified for, we haven't been able to make it to CHAN. So not the best of times for Nigerian football, especially the men's team.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we all know that our football has been doing for at least in the last in the last one decade. Yeah. We are not up there or be seen as among the top competitors within the Africa context. Sometimes you need to admit that you have failed. Exactly. When you admit that you have failed, at the same time. Every year you admit to have failed, and I need to get like provide solutions. How am I going to get out of my own tradition? How am I going to progress? Okay, you have tell us obviously what we all know that yes, that we are not doing well at the moment. But what is the plan? But he refused to tell us the plan of how he intends. The lost glory will not just come back.
Exactly.
Yes, we know you have failed, but you know how are we going to bounce back to the success?
Yeah, there has to be a plan.
You need a plan. For if a student who know that he failed, need to go to work more and read fast, and go to this I'm going to work more and do my effort to read fast. Yeah. Okay, you know that Nigeria has not been doing well. He has been on the shadows. Yes, we are still aspiring as a new president, but he has been in the shadow for at least for the last 3 months. In the last 4 months, he has said for almost 4 months aspect of Nigeria football, because he gets elected September 30 and today is January 31st. He has spent 4 months. And for the last 4 months, okay, now it is now 4 months is enough for you to begin to roll out your plan and all to begin to proceed. What are you going to do? If it's not okay, we have not been doing what plans, what are you? Tell us the concrete plan and the idea on how you intend to bounce back. It's not just bounce back by your word of mouth.
Exactly. Yeah, Corey, you're very correct in that, in Nigeria here, we do more talking than putting in action. So I think what we need, because of course, for Gusau, he said a lot of things. Well, I appreciate his effort in trying to, touch base with a few of the partners of the Super Eagles here and there to see if they can, continue that relationship, see if they can renew that relationship. But for now, we need concrete plans to see how football will keep going.
Yeah,
Don't forget that soon. AFCON qualifiers will resume in March, where all for February starts. So in no time, AFCON qualifiers will resume. Super Falcons will be going to the World Cup this year.
Yes, Alpha, just like you said, it's good that he is visiting the partners to renew the relationship and this and that. About. I have often said here, except that another person who proved me wrong, and I still maintain that stand that Super Eagles is a brand.
Yeah.
Super Eagles, as it is, not even need to go in behind it to buy anybody to come and sponsorship. Yeah. But all you need to do is for you to package yourself and accept. When Super Eagles is signed, people, the sponsor will jump up at themselves, begging you, will even lobby you or even put extra effort, lobbying for a way to identify with the brand.
Yeah.
But when you fail to do your work, that is where you begin to go out to go and beg. It's a student who fail to write, who fail to read fast, that will go and beg lecturer to help me.
Yeah.
That is the obvious thing about it. But you know, there's about Nigerian Football Federation. I commend him, just like I don't need to commend it to some extent. For instance, some of the changes, even though I am still feel that it's still early to begin to comment what is happening in the league. That it's still early to comment what is happening. But I commended him for giving them a free hand to give IMC a free hand to run the league, and I would hope that if IMT based on what we have seen, they maintain that momentum and maintain that consistency, I think we'll begin to see a different song in the Nigerian professional league. But however, Bushos need to get to action. His I reckon his period of honeymoon is beginning to get over.
Of course.
So he needs to begin to show us a concrete plan on how he intends to rebalance the Nigerian football bank.
Yeah. All right. So some athletes, I think this is some sharing news coming from athletics, where Ruth Usor has become the latest Nigerian athlete to qualify for the 2023 World Championship after setting a new personal best of 6.87 meters in the women's long jump final at the Texas Tech Open and Multi-Meet over the weekend. The mark surpassed the World Championships qualifying standard of 6.85 meters and has earned her an automatic ticket for the World Athletics Championship taking place in Budapest, that's Romania, later this year. This makes Usoro the second on the all-time African indoor list behind Chioma Ajun's African record of 6.97 meters and ahead of Ese Brome's 6.85 meters, a silver medal winning mark at the World Indoor Championships in Belgrade last year. For Ruth Usoro, also in 2020, she became the first Nigerian jumper in history to qualify for the Olympics in both the long and triple jump events. So congratulations to this young lady, taking, one of the new generation of athletes, like we keep saying, with the new generation of athletes coming up from Nigeria, somehow we are beginning to forget some artists who had the likes of, what's her name again, who has been banned. Gradually, she's beginning to escape our Cadbury. You can see that I'm even finding a hard time to recall her name. So exactly, gradually a lot of athletes have sprung up that gradually Okagbe is becoming history to some Nigerians.
Yeah, I quite agree. I quite agree with you, and in some essence, whether you like it or not, sometimes when the fight presents yourself, when the fight presents yourself, you have no any reason to hide it or to
exactly.
Fight.
Yeah.
And when there's a light, you can't cover the light.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, we begin to see some positive development in the athletics.
Very well.
Although, in as much as some people will not like to attribute the success to AFL or to any Nigerian administration, because most of those athletes are getting their support or signing from the connection they are getting from the American on the scholarship when they are playing in America. Kudos to those Americans who are supporting the athletes. And also commending Nigerian Football Federation, Nigerian Federation and the Sport Ministry will provide a platform for those athletes to lift on and to get where they are.
Yeah.
So, but one thing I would like to know, I believe that the Paris Olympic hold a very bright prospect for Nigerian athletes. Now we're talking about Osebrume. Now we have another Usoro who has also surpassing the Osebrume at the moment. So it clearly shows that if he qualified for one champion, we can only pray for her that he was at the last Olympic, and we can only pray for her, but he didn't compete in long jump, whether because of one thing or the other. But he pray for her that if he qualified both of them qualify for the Paris Olympic, so definitely we'll have assurance that between her and Osebrume, Nigeria will definitely get a medal, a deserved medal, a gold medal, and nothing wrong if two of them even bring gold and the silver medal. So that is we're beginning to see more potentials in athletic development in athletic. Going to the Paris Olympic, we have confidence hope that yes, Nigeria is going to excel in the athletic. Kudos and congratulations also for giving Nigeria another hope going forward.
Right, for another Nigerian, this time talking about table tennis, that's and the person of Aruna Quadri, who yesterday actually was unveiled by his new Russian club in the capital of Moscow, according to the itinerary of Nigerian. The ceremony which preceded the unveiling will hold at the headquarters of the Gazprom Bank, owner of Fasel Gazprom Orenburg-based in Moscow. Quadri had early on Monday, January 30, undergone a medical before the signing and unveiling ceremonies in Moscow. GPB is a private-owned Russian bank and the third largest bank in Russia. Funds the club after the signing of the agreement. Okay, actually, the unveiling is to be done much later today. He passed the medical yesterday, and unveiling will be done later today. For Quadri, he joined the Russian champion alongside Chinese international and Yan and Hongyu Chen, and they're expected to continue the team tradition of dominating the lucrative Russian league this season. And elated Aaron has said after his arrival in Moscow at the weekend that the reception accorded him by the club management will surely inspire him to give his best in the league. So for Aaron Quadri, congratulations to him. Moving on, he used to be at a club in, I think, Germany, and now making the league to Russia. When this news came out yesterday, I was chatting with a few colleagues, and he was telling me that why Russia, when right now Russia is almost becoming like a pariah state, everybody is avoiding Russia. I said, well, he's going there to play table tennis. He's not going there to take up arms to fight against Ukraine. So, I mean, if you get a club in Russia where you feel you can advance your career, I don't think there's anything wrong with going to Russia to, continue playing your table tennis.
I was trying to say that you're going to take that word from my mouth. Yes, it's a good development for his career, but for me, I feel he's going to Russia at the very wrong time.
But you consider it the wrong time?
So, I will say it's the wrong time because at the moment, even you as you're sitting here, nobody's a friend of Russia at the moment because of the way what's the invasion in Ukraine. And all international sport federation has also go against Russia. What is for play for a club level, and we wish him that the success and good. It's all about business. It's all about money. He is taking the career to the next level of business. He's looking at the business side of the game, not mainly because of the war. He's going just like say he's not going there to support. But anybody feel at the moment that if you are a Russia, in support of Russia. But however, Arna Academy is going there purely for sports reasons.
I mean, like he said it, and he's a well-known fact when it comes to table tennis. Russia incidentally have one of the best leagues when it comes to table tennis. And like he said, I'm excited that I'm indeed looking forward. There's no doubt that we're playing one of the best leagues in Europe with a top club as well. And I'm excited to looking forward to my first match for the club this coming weekend. And if you even see the kind of, corporate organizations behind this team, you know that it's a big team. And for Quadri, because how many table tennis players from Nigeria actually go out there to play for clubs?
No,
the only time we hear of is footballers we really hear of. But for Quadri, I mean, over the years, he's done very well to, moving from one club to other, playing in top leagues.
Not just a club in the top league.
Exactly.
And I said the way I analyze is like I said, he has been on place as a footballer.
Exactly.
So, and I hope that this will trigger and inspire more local athletes who are still playing tennis to get to follow his footsteps.
I think more importantly, what most Nigerians will be expecting from Quadri is when it comes to him donning the colors of Nigeria, that his performances begin to show, so that it shouldn't be too much of more about like you are only advancing your career, but when it comes to your country, you're not doing enough.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm one of those who also feel anytime Arna Quadri is coming to play, once people see him as a potential winner, Nigerians in particular almost have focus, almost have a high expectation on him because of his status as a top tennis player in the world. But when he gets to the on the table on the court to play for the Nigerian, you only get disappointed. And what key fact, I'm not an expert in the tennis. I'm not a coach or a tennis player. But one I feel that Arna is missing between the club level Arna play and when he comes to play. It's about the technical aspect. He's a tactical aspect of the game. For the club, they have a service of sound coaches. But when he comes to Nigeria, you don't have coaches. Sometimes he even went to the competition without a coach, and which is some of the things that is very missing. For instance, the last Olympic in the Tokyo, before either misconception, misunderstand. I don't know what is really happening, and I think the top manager, the top hierarchy of sport organization in Nigeria needs to get to this. If we must get the benefit of having a country, and before he retire from the game, we can't have having a country and going to compete at the top level in the Olympic, at the Commonwealth Game, or at the World Championship without getting the medal, or even getting the medal picture. Because we have having a country, have what it takes to won us a medal, and if we must benefit from it, we need to look at what is missing, what is really missing between the institution. Just like I say, it's a technical aspect of it. Like for instance, the last Olympic, when going to the Olympic, we can rightly inform that the Minister of Physical Sport wrote for him if he actually needs the coach, but the guy declared he doesn't need the coach. But about the way to the tournament, or a few days to the tournament, he now requested that he need the coach. And between that time, the time is still short. The coach manager coach, and he feel that Toriola, who is a national coach, doesn't have what it takes to guide him. And he feel that he has more experience. But sometimes 2 years are better than one. No matter how, it must not be that you play better than somebody. Because Mourinho, who is one of the best man coach in the world today, doesn't play football anywhere. Nobody know where. Mourinho never play for any club or any national team, but he's one of the best man coaches in the world. So sometimes Toriola may not have achieved what you have or may not get to have. But in terms of cheating down, sometimes someone who sit down, watch the game, understand the game, and tell you better than you that are already facing on the table, holding the bat.
Right, we'll quickly go on a break and then we'll come back. Sport Orbit continues. Don't go nowhere.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that break. It's still Sports Orbit now for Terry Murphy. In the last couple of weeks, his name has been flying all over the media space concerning his next club. But finally, he has actually put pen to paper for Nice, which is also a fellow French League on side. Recall that even the likes of West Ham needed his services. But from what we're hearing, he has put pen to paper for Nice and actually completed a medical. Well, for Lorient, they accepted a fee in the region of 30 million euros for the Super Eagles forward, and the deal is agreed, entails on 20 million euro fee plus another 5 million in add-ons. Nice had submitted several offers for the Nigerian, which had been rejected by Lorient before their final agreement was reached. Lorient wanted Murphy to join Marseille after they met the evaluation of player, but the Nigerian international insisted on a move to the Rivera club, and he has finally gotten it. He is built to sign a 4.5-year contract for Lille. Recall that he joined Lorient from Belgium league side KV Kojik in October 2020, where he scored 12 goals so far in 19 league appearances for Lorient so far. Well, again, some of us were hoping that he was going to make that switch to West Ham. West Ham were also looking at his signature, but for his club, they wanted him to join Lyon, but for reasons best known to him. Because when you look at the French League One, you look at Nice, well, an old club in League One, but nobody knows why he insisted on that's where he wanted to play. Could it be that he felt, he could be the star man there? I mean, we haven't really heard from him why he decided that this is where I want to go to, in spite of, the likes of Lyon coming for him. Lyon is a bigger club than Nice, but nobody knows why he decided to settle for that club.
Yeah, as you rightly say, as a Nigerian, I was so happy when I heard that West Ham already signed him, and now that he has joined West Ham, all of a sudden now begin to see that he has not. There was a disagreement that there was about couldn't make a second level, they didn't agree on the fee, and now, what to me, just like you ended, that the reason best known to him. And even leaving Lorient to Nice, I don't see how I feel that Nice is better than Lorient.
Exactly.
And if a club like Marcel, who are it doesn't matter the current position of the player playing in the league. Looking myself, in terms of name or in terms of pedigree,
Of course, Marcel, Leon too were also there. These are clubs who,
so that a top club all asking for a chance. Even he come to a certain time, and even the club wanted to join Olympic Marseille, but he said no, he is there to play. But just like say, this is best man to him, and all the council can only wish him well.
Very well. Wish him well for there. So we hope he continues in his goal scoring form for his new club out there in the French League. On now to some other transfer news where, of course, this news started flying around yesterday where it was revealed that Arsenal were eyeing a move for Chelsea's midfielder, talking about Jorginho. Mikel Arteta attempts to seal a deadline day move. We call that the transfer window will shut tonight, exactly 12 midnight. So let's see what happens. Of course, he has missed out on a couple of targets. His first choice was Brighton star Moses Caicedo, but the Brighton have been adamant on selling him, and he is looking at, even though Partey might be returning, but I think Arteta does not want to take any chances, feeling that anything could still happen. So he needs more firepower in that midfield, and he feels Jorginho is the man. Well, for me, I do not know what informed the club about moving for Jorginho, but I don't know if this could be a good move for Arsenal if it eventually goes through.
Yeah, if you allow me, if I talk about the Jorginho, like there are more things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're looking at the current Serie first League One, Marseille, when the club wanted to go, Marseille is third on the league table. Lawrence, which is leaving, is fifth on the league table, and is going to be missed by 10th position in the league. But you just leave it there. The best financial reason or whatever you feel, you feel that his services are more than that. The best is not best known to him. Then talking about Jorginho, sometimes when you get to the last deadline of the transfer, you begin to say something you don't even understand, and sometimes club can't stop surprising people. I still don't know what informed a quick decision about Jorginho moving from Celtic to Arsenal, but we are here to say that finalized it. But there's a lot of so much pressure that it may likely going to scale through. But we are here to see until in the last 5 hours, what we don't know to happen. But either Chelsea will be willing to release
exactly
at this critical time. Where says also struggling, and at this critical time being what the Jorginho has had. But it's here to see, but sometimes there's nothing more. And at the same time, the kind of money that are being mentioned, Arsenal is willing to pay just money. It will be a big surprise if Arsenal willing to pay that money. That means that will make it a very the highest pay record fee move to Arsenal. But let's see how it's going to play out. Jorginho is 31 years old, and let's say he's going to sign a one-year contract with an option that he'll sign another extension at the end of the season. But that's how it's going to play out. If he cross over from Arsenal but not from Arsenal because of his status. If he moves to Arsenal, it will be a good addition for Arsenal.
Yeah, very well. All right. Once again, Cristiano Ronaldo is in the news once again. Yesterday, his coach of Al Nassr, Rudy Garcia, disclosed that he believes that the striker is far from finished, and he thinks that a return back to Europe is likely before his playing days are over. Ronaldo, he said, is a positive addition as he helps clear defender. He's one of the best players in the world. He won't finish his career at Al Nassr. He'll go back to Europe. When I saw this news yesterday, and from a lot of comments flying around on social media, sometimes when stories like this start coming out, you begin to feel that all might not be really well. Because I'm sure when Al Nassr, brought him over to Saudi Arabia, they were hoping that, and like we said, I mean, you've played football in different leagues, and I mean, the Saudi league should be just come and be tearing.
You just watch it.
Exactly, but he's yet to score apart from that friendly against PSG. He's yet to get on the score sheet. And Ronaldo now, maybe he's beginning to get frustrated in the back room. Who knows? Maybe he's beginning to get frustrated, and maybe they are beginning to look at it like, okay, this deal is not turning out to be what we expected it to be. For the coach to come and say, I believe this man will likely return to Europe.
Yeah, well, both sides. If you look at from the both sides of the balance, whatever any side you stand, you be both right. Firstly, if you say all may not be having well because of the antecedents of Ronaldo what he has displayed the last two clubs before he moved to another, you agree that okay, maybe all is not, maybe he has started his arrogance or his attitude. Or the other way, the answer maybe because we have wasted so much money on this guy. It's not before giving us what we wanted to see in him. But another divide to it that I'm also want to believe that Ronaldo may not end his career in Saudi Arabia because at that time that he has no any option in Europe to move because of his status and because of his rift with the Bayern. No club wanted to bring him at that time because of the issue. And people may feel okay, that okay, let me just go and spend 1 year just to down the tensions and everything and then people be able to see. But before that can be guaranteed of his move to Saudi Arabia, he has to be performing. Because if you are playing in the Spanish league, play in the Premier League when you were first at the Manchester United in the first instance, banging the goal as the strikers, the powerful strikers, and the romance strikers, and everybody. You move to Real Madrid, spend almost 7 years in Real Madrid, banging with several records, and you now come back to Real Madrid. And now when you get to this Saudi league, not disrespect to the players who are playing in Saudi league, where people say it's just an African player who are playing there, and people see you in their meeting. All one expected that within a 30 minutes or within any 15 minutes of action, you should hit the back of the net. But now we are going 180 minutes action without scoring a goal. But we hope that Ronaldo may have studied may have learned his lesson, and he need to calm down his And another thing I may see to it that when Ronaldo may find it difficult to cope in Saudi Arabia is the hot weather in Saudi Arabia. The high temperature and the high degree of hot weather in Arabia. Somebody who have all his time in a very cool ice cream region move to Saudi Arabia when the temperature is almost about 40 degrees in a day. So it will be very tough for him to cope within that hot weather in Saudi Arabia. That's one thing I'm finding that maybe that may have affecting his performance, and we were able to see Saudi Arabia have also adopted the same thing that Qatar did in the AC or the stadium.
Okay, to a final story before we leave, not a very good one for former world champion, athletics champion, that is 100 and 200 meters, Usain Bolt. I think 2 weeks earlier ago, it was revealed that some $12.7 million mysteriously disappeared from his account, which was being managed by an investment firm in Jamaica. Earlier this month, he was informed that his account balance at the Kingston-based stocks and securities had dwindled to just $12,000 from $12 million. All he has left in that account is 12. And for him, he said, his lawyers currently are on the issue, but for him, it's been a very, very stressful situation he's found himself in, trying to recover that money, but he doesn't want to stress himself too much with it since his lawyers, are handling that kind of thing. Like they always say, these are stories sometimes you always hear from Nigeria, but I mean, this is huge sums of money to steal from. This could be some of his savings after retiring, feels that, okay, let me put some of this money aside so I can still live a comfortable life after I've retired from the sport. $12 million is plenty of money in any part of the world.
$12 million. It's a whole lot of money. You can see him sweating because from the way he sounds, he's getting frustrated.
Exactly.
If you deduct $12 million from your saving, what is left?
Yeah.
So the Yahoo, the scammers are everywhere. But we pray that the world champion, the world athletics champion, many record holders should not be treated in this way. Jamaica need to respect. Jamaica, I'm not saying the Jamaica of whoever have do this thing. Since it's happening in Jamaica, need to respect what the name and the record he has given to Jamaica. It shouldn't be treated in this way. This is his life situation, just like it's no longer. Even though he may do it in the course of his anything, he may have invested some here and there, who is still anything money. But the kind of bogus money normally anywhere he run for 5 minutes, he's no longer coming like that. So they need to respect, and wherever the Jamaican government need to intervene in this situation to save the young man.
Right. We hope that this matter will be resolved, because I mean, athletes, like they say, that's why most of the time you see athletes, you start your career by 32, 35, when most people are still trying to find their fit in their career. For a sportsman, you've retired already.
Yeah.
And that is why most of the time, while you're actively,
you
you're paid. In fact,
make the best of
you earn your salary and pension at the same time. Exactly. Because not like for the rest of us in other professions where you can keep going till 60s, 70s. But for these people, once you get to a certain age, in your 30s, mid-30s, the body shuts down. So we hope that this matter is resolved.
Except you're a good player.
Exactly, except to go, for instance.
Yes. The lack of the
Phil Jackson
and play for years.
Exactly,
and even the older they get,
in fact,
even at 90, they are still competing.
You can still compete, yeah. All right, with that, we draw the curtain on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Tomorrow we'll be back again with another exciting episode. Do join us once again, 4 p.m. It is time for Sports Orbit tomorrow once again. Salifu, thank you for being in the studio once again. Thank you. On this edition, rather. Until we come your way tomorrow again, do have a lovely time out there. My name is Afa Acho, and it's bye-bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.